What up, people? Push the Ball Black here with Push the Ball Black Sports. And Golden State Warriors are up 3-0 with them winning against Cleveland 110-102. And KD drops 43. And this was the most balanced game that the Cleveland Cavaliers played this series. Everybody contributed. They found something in Rodney Hood. He had 15 points. LeBron James had a triple-double, 33, 11, 10. And Kevin Love had another 20-10 game, 20 points, 13 rebounds. Golden State got too many weapons. Like, this was the Steph playing horrible game. This was the Clay playing horrible game. And you should win this game, as the narrative is KD's trying to figure out himself in the offense. Well, it's funny. The same thing that happened last year where KD basically played iso ball against Cleveland and dominated the finals. The first two games, the first game he shot poorly even though he had 20-plus points. Second game he shot better and was a distributor in some cases and had 26. This game, guess what they did? They played iso ball a lot of his possessions, and he shot over everybody because no one can stop him. No one can guard him straight up. And if he's shooting well, which he was today, 43. If he shoots well, you're going to get 35 or better from him. So I like what Paul Pierce said in the post game. Michelle Beadle was like, hey, Chauncey and Jalen Rose were like, it was Steph's to lose, and Paul Pierce said Steph just lost it. The MVP, if KD plays well the next game, and if he plays lights out the next game and they win, KD is the finals MVP, even though people are saying that he's figuring himself out in the offense of Golden State. I don't know what you want LeBron James and Cleveland to do. They've been playing well. There's a narrative that's going to happen tomorrow morning. I know that's going to happen. Chauncey already kind of said it in the postgame that LeBron James was passive. That's what LeBron James does. LeBron James is a point guard by nature. I know he's 6'8". I know he's 250. LeBron James is a passing first point guard by nature. So him getting everybody involved, and then him kind of not figuring out, but him kind of like closing later or picking his spots. That's what he does. I know Chauncey mentioned it in the post game, and Mark Jackson mentioned it during the broadcast. But that's what LeBron James does, man. He's a facilitator first. I could have taken him without shooting those threes though, because like Steph, he wasn't shooting very well either. So it's kind of like go to the lane if you can. You can kick it out and drive and do what you do, but there was a few shots where it was like, come on, dude, don't shoot that three. And because he's not a good 3-point shooter anyway, he's better than people think he is, but he's not that good anyway. And it's better, especially if he's not in a rhythm to where he doesn't shoot like that. So, but LeBron James gets everybody involved. That's what he does. He had 33. He had 11 assists. He had 10 rebounds. That's what he does. That's what he is. KD is the dude that I'm going to shoot over you and try to stop me. And really, it was, if KD didn't have 40 points, 43 points, no one's going to talk about how the fact that LeBron James was passive. Just KD had an out of this world shooting night. That's what it was. There was no because everybody was talking about he needs help. LeBron James needs help. Well, Rodney Hood is a scorer. He had 15. Kevin Love had that double-double. He had help today. JR had not a crazy JR game, but JR was okay. It's just KD was better than everybody. So there's nothing you could do here. The narrative is going to be LeBron James was passive. The narrative was going to be still he has no help. LeBron James has had help this entire series. Okay? Kevin Love has had a double-double the entire series. So, and either you've had Larry Nance being helpful, you've had Rodney Hood being helpful, you had JR being helpful today. KD was just better. So the thing now is, if you're Golden State, if Cleveland starts out good again in the first quarter, and let's say they're up by 10 or they're up by 12 or something, since you have game 3 already, and since you're going to have game 5 in the at home, do you kind of not necessarily play hard, but do you kind of not necessarily fight off that initial punch if that punch is there? If that punch is there in game 4 where LeBron goes off or JR shoots like 3 threes, or maybe Tyronn Lue puts Rodney Hood in the game again and he has a decent game in the decent first quarter, and that initial punch isn't there, do you kind of just chill for a little bit and wait till game 5, or do you go ahead and go for the sweep now? Because unless LeBron goes for 50 again, I doubt very seriously Klay Thompson and Steph Curry play as average as they were. Because even if unless Kevin Durant shoots really bad and it's under 10 points, if Kevin Durant, quote unquote, has a bad game, then it's still going to be 20 plus. So I don't want it to be a sweep. I thought they would be 6. I don't see Cleveland winning again, or at least getting close to winning in Oakland again. And I don't see them winning this next game. They may, but this was a game where everybody played well. And Rodney Hood played well off the bench. So unless something crazy happens or LeBron hits 50, then there's no shot. Because they've been playing considerably better every game as a team. Cleveland has been playing considerably better every game, and it just doesn't matter. So, anyway, Push the Wild Black out. Later, people.